Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, chicagomustingspro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at chicagomustingspro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Tomcar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Gino's East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
Hello and welcome to the Sears Center for another great night/afternoon here at the Sears Center for Chicago Mustangs soccer. We have to be a little quick here because we have some of our Spanish broadcasters here. Norman, take it away.
Yes, how's everybody today on a cold winter day in Chicago? We're very excited to get this game going. ¿Qué dices, Tico?
Hey guys, we'll talk to you a little bit later at halftime because right now we're about to start this game.
Tico goes to the Spanish broadcast, and it will be an exciting one. I'm glad I get to stand next to him, listen to him all day. I love it. It's a great day when I get to stand next to Tico and you, Norman.
Oh, it's always a great day to be here to see you guys and enjoy some indoor soccer.
We have a new team here in town in Syracuse, Silver Knights, joining us. You know, they're probably wishing they were in Syracuse right now because it's probably warmer in Syracuse than it is here today.
Oh, definitely. It's one of the coldest days of the year here in Chicago, and they had to come out here.
Mustangs out early, trying to get a nice little run here. Wheelo Martinez slowing it down. But yeah, tonight the story is the weather. Even though we're in a warm Sears Center, hopefully everyone stays safe as the temperatures plummet towards 0 and lower.
Yep. Like I said, despite the fact that we're indoors, we still had to get here, so we felt that chill.
Well, for those that are home right now watching this game, hopefully you are warm and enjoying a nice MASL soccer game here. Mustangs had a rough go of it last time here at home, looking to change some things up. What are you looking for the Mustangs tonight, Norman?
Well, like I said, they had a tough loss last week. You know, they lost to the Wave 8-11. It was a tough loss. They're on a 2-game losing streak right now. So I think they're really gonna, take the level of soccer. They're gonna really raise their level of soccer today because they don't want to lose another game at home.
Yeah, we know the Mustangs over the years have been a very, very good home team, hardly losing here, making it a home field advantage. They had a great home field advantage, obviously, at the Grand Sports Arena as well. Here's an opportunity by one of the newcomers, Ross Barstow, with a nice little touch, but a good save by Andrew Coughlin. As we were saying about the Grand Sports Arena, the Mustangs had obviously strong home field advantage there with a different type of field there at the Grand Sports Arena, different surface as well. But they carried that into here to the Sears Center, and it's rare when we see them lose like that at home.
Yeah, especially because they were at the top of their division last week. Right now, they're second in their division. The Rampage is right above them, a few points above them, and I'm sure that they'd like to take that leadership spot again.
Let's not forget that Cedar Rapids has a few old Mustang players on their team as well, and Yosio Sandoval and Everton Moreira carrying that team from the reports that we've heard from Cedar Rapids, and actually even seeing Cedar Rapids play here inside the Sears Center. A very strong team. I suspect those teams will be going at it along with Kansas City. It's going to be a 3-horse race. No pun intended, obviously, for the Mustangs being one of the horses, but
exactly. Now Cedar Rapids, Syracuse, they're on a one-game winning streak right now, and I know they like to keep that going. They're third in their division right now. So
Well,
I'm sure they like to walk away with a win here in Chicago.
last night Syracuse was in Milwaukee, another cold part of the country. Syracuse just can't seem to get out of the cold. You know, not only are you in New York up there, and now you're coming back here and hoping that it would be at least 15 degrees, but no, it's 0.
Yeah, and let's hope that, the fact that these guys have been on the road, that this plays to our advantage right now, because Chicago, we've had a week to rest. We didn't have to play, we've had a week to regroup.
That's a huge point that you made right there. Early as we've been talking in this game, we've seen already a few nice chances here by the Mustangs. No lag time in a week off here. It was probably the right time for a week to come for the Mustangs as Taylor Bond takes a shot that's deflected. But, usually you see a team, even when they're scuffling, you say, oh, this is a good to have time off. But we've seen it many times in this league and many other leagues. When you come off from a week off, you can even look worse. But tonight, so far with a few minutes into this game, Coach Gamboa has these guys ready to go.
Yeah, I think that, they just want to start out fast. They want to start out dominating the game. They don't want to let their guard down early the way it's happened before. So I think, they're coming out very strong, and they want to definitely dominate the game early.
I was talking to Peter Graham earlier, one of the experts on the indoor game, and he brought up a great point how Milwaukee plays a very physical game, which we saw last week here in the Sears Center, and playing on back-to-back nights, and the first half being Milwaukee, there's a lot of bumps and bruises. I bet Syracuse didn't have an opportunity to recover within less than 24 hours now.
Exactly. So right now, Syracuse is trying to play the ball up front, but like I said, Chicago is really covering the small areas, the small spaces. They're playing very good defense. I think that's what happened last week is, although they got opportunities to score, they lagged a little bit on the defense because they were really going all out. And I think that's one of the things that they really probably focus on is defense too.
I really like I'm always mentioning about jerseys, but I gotta say, I love Syracuse's jerseys. As I say that, there's a shot that goes up and it hits the crossbar and off. Once again, though, Syracuse has possession of the ball.
Yeah.
Syracuse right there with their first strong attempt at net, and it looks like they're starting to gain a little bit of confidence here.
Yes.
And as I say that, they kick it out of bounds.
Well, like we said before, Syracuse is on a one-game winning streak, and they average approximately about 6 goals per game. And compared to the Mustangs average about 6.2, so they're a little bit even. So I think, the Mustangs will have the edge playing at home today.
Yeah, very, very even on paper, definitely. A great play by Bond as Vaca takes a shot and he misses wide. Miguel Vaca, so close, about a few inches off that post right there, really close from giving a 1-0 lead to the Mustangs. Now Beard keeping it in for the Mustangs as he gives it to Vaca. Now Pee Wee wants to settle it down, finds Vaca again streaking down the near side. Vaca getting pushed off, and Beard now trying to get the ball back, and does to Vaca. Vaca takes another shot that gets deflected. Looks like it's going to go out of play, and does. Good defense right there by Kenrod Forbes.
Yeah, the Mustangs, they've came out pressuring the visiting team here, and they've taken a few good shots. So if they continue, we might see some goals early on.
Forgive us on some of these pronunciations of the names today. We were just actually handed an official lineup a few minutes before game time. So we're still trying to get Syracuse, the roster down, because we weren't sure who was going to be playing or who wasn't going to be playing till a few moments ago.
Yeah, now for Syracuse, the guys to watch are Travanese. He's got 9 goals. He's the top scorer for Syracuse, and he's in the starting lineup right now. And another guy that we need to keep, they need to keep in check is Forbes, number 55. He's got 5 goals for Syracuse.
Forbes already even just getting in on the defensive end there, taking away the ball from Beard just a second ago. Now a dump down here by Beard as it goes to Ubi Baripovic. Coughlin.
Now after last week's loss, I heard that, what needs to happen a little bit more is stepping it up a little bit more on defense for the Mustangs and not to rely so much on just one goal scorer, because Taylor Bond's our number 1 guy right now. He's got 13 goals. He's played all games. But one of the things that they were talking about is that they need a team to step up a little bit more so that doesn't just fall on his shoulders.
Couldn't agree more with that statement. I think the defense was relying on Flores to make a big save at big times, and a nice little back heel in Coughlin with a great save on Dos Santos.
Great combination shot for the Mustangs, and they're definitely creating opportunities to score.
Mustangs are doing a great job of those little flicks, moving the ball upfield with a lot more movement in tonight's game already from the Mustangs than there was all last week.
Oh, they're definitely taking advantage of all the small spaces right now, and they look like, they've been dominating the game since they've started the game, and they play the ball back to Flores right now, trying to set up something. So they're looking pretty good right now.
Well, one guy we could also look at, too, for a couple goals is Negro Sandoval. He wasn't brought in here to be a rah-rah leadership type guy, even though they want him to be that. They want goals, and more goals from a player like him. Ball getting played back now. It's a little danger. Jesus Flores dumping it in now. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, and like you were talking about Negro Sandoval, we got to see him play last week, his first home game, and he still adjusting to the game. He played very well. He got 2 goals last week, so that was really good to see. We've
seen a lot of new players come here to the Mustangs over the years, and it's not a surprise anymore when we see a guy play their first game and they score a couple goals, they put a couple highlight reel plays up there, and now you see Ross Barstow come out there tonight. He had a nice little chip on net early here. Maybe he breaks out and is the next Mustang to have a great game in his first opportunity here. Yeah, and if they continue playing this way, I think this is going to be a really positive game for the Mustangs, because after that tough loss last week, they don't want to let the home crowd down today. And speaking of the crowd, before you get over to the Spanish side of things, good crowd on hand tonight, even with the weather being a key factor. Honestly, if you're the Mustangs, you can't wish for anything more. I mean, this has got to be pretty solid for what we see outside. Oh, definitely. Like I said, you're right on the money with that. I think it's one of the coldest days of the year today, and we still got the crowd. Maybe the past 5 years. I mean, it's cold out there. It's very cold up. Well, now that we are coming out of break, I know you have to head over to the Spanish broadcast for a little bit. So Norman will be in and out with us tonight as he's on the Spanish broadcast and here on the English broadcast as well. Both teams back on the field with Syracuse with the restart. We have 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Coughlin already has come up huge on 2 saves here. It should easily be 2-0 Mustangs, but Andrew Coughlin with some huge saves, and he's definitely on top of his game tonight. It's going to take a lot of shots on net to break through a goalie that's on top of his game like Coughlin is tonight. Jesus Flores has not been tested at all really tonight. Still very early in this game. Now a centering pass where Wheelo just comes up and takes it away, but the danger is still there with Forbes playing it off the boards, and Forbes to Vitali, got to get a name on there. The roster does not have a good pronunciation or spelling of the last name, so we're going to have to get a confirmation on the name. But Forbes really doing it all there, and a good little run there by number 3, which we will get his name for you in a few seconds. But Forbes, mentioned earlier here by Norman himself, making an impact early. And wow, and that's the thing about indoor soccer right there, is you could be playing on top of your game, which the Mustangs have been doing for the past 10 minutes or so. We're getting the name right now. We're going to go with Antonio for now. Antonio getting the first goal there for Syracuse. But as I was saying, Norman spotlighting Forbes, and Forbes already on the score sheet early. That is big for a team that had no momentum going for themselves. Now Mustangs have to get back up. That was like a punch right to the nose. Let's see how they respond. Vaca now, who's had a couple opportunities early here in this game. One shot that went very close from hitting the back of the net, just ended up hitting the far post. Bond, you know, he's looking to score a lot of goals every time he's on the field. Ref gets in the way, but luckily for the Mustangs that it's still in play. Ref is just getting in the way the whole time there. He's kind of in no man's land. Mustangs really need a goal here to get this crowd going. Francisco Gonzalez out there making his Sears Center debut. Excuse me, not his debut. He's been playing before. I don't know why I said that. It's been a long week, folks. It's been a long week. .418 to go. Silver Knights right now up on the Mustangs. Most people probably would have not predicted an early lead for Syracuse after coming off a game last night in Milwaukee. And not even 24 hours in between games, and they're back on the field. Vaca now, this is something we don't really see, is Vaca line up for a free kick. This is a new look. Now Pee-wee. Now Vaca. Vaca shoots in a save. He just did enough, was Andrew Coughlin right there. That wasn't the greatest save, but you know what they say, it doesn't have to look pretty as long as you keep the ball out of the back of the net. And Coughlin did exactly that. He almost timed his jump a little too early and just was kind of shocked that the ball didn't come in as quick and just got a little piece of that. Forbes now in the corner. That's gonna be a reoccurring theme with Forbes having the ball at his feet. Mata. For the Silver Knights out there, getting a pass that didn't work out with Forbes. Now we get the ball stuck here by the security guard. And the players kind of giving it to the security guy a little bit. Mostly the ref. And there we go. Finally got the ball down. Game back in progress, and right off the free kick, Ubi Padipovic with the centering pass. Tavernes with a goal there, and there's another spotlight player by Norman coming through huge, and right now the Sears Center is silent and shocked. Wow, it is unbelievable the confidence that we now see on the bench of Syracuse. They are not tired at all. They're ready to go. And look at this now. Now they're really feeling the energy, putting some pressure up on Mustang players, not giving them any room like we saw about 5 minutes ago. Ball is cleared out off the boards. Pichardo was regaining some confidence there for the Mustangs as he was trying to do something with Dos Santos, and nothing going for the Mustangs. looking down at the bench right now, you'll see Coach Gamboa with the hand on his chin, strategizing, thinking what he's going to do here for the rest of the first quarter and then the second quarter going on. That's usually something we don't see there from Coach Gamboa. Usually he's right down on the bench with the players, talking to the players as they're running by, talking to, the refs, right in the action. Tonight he's more on the bench, walking back and forth, game planning and thinking and being more, he actually looks kind of relaxed for being down 2-0. But he always has that poker face on. We really don't know what Coach Gamboa is thinking during the game. Before and after, emotional guy, you can get to him, really good guy. But during the game, you just have no clue what he's thinking, and that makes him one of the best coaches in the game. Pichardo playing it down to Gonzalez. Gonzalez couldn't get there and get the ball in time, but the ball is still in the zone with Negro now, who had a great game here in the Sears Center with 2 goals last time out against Milwaukee. Taylor Bond giving it to Dos Santos. Dos Santos, another guy that had a decent game actually for the Mustangs against the Wave. And now we have Taylor Bond down on a non-contact injury. Now he gets back up and starts running it off. Taylor Bond, as you've been noticing lately on our broadcast, being spotlighted more and more in commercials, in just overall team videos. He's becoming the face of this franchise, and the fan base is really accepting what Taylor Bond is bringing. Forbes had a shot that got deflected away, and it was very close and dangerous to Jesus Flores. Now all of a sudden you just feel the excitement from the Silver Knights. Antonio all the way through to Ubi Potapovich, leaving it for Forbes, centering pass. It's bouncing all around. Bond trying to get it out. He just clears it out, and the Mustangs are having difficulty now against the Knights, Silver Knights. As that shot was blocked away and then dumped down by Taylor Bond, you could hear the claps from the Silver Knights bench and the encouragement from all the way up here on the second level. They are really feeling it tonight. Not too much communication down on the field for the Mustangs. De La Cruz with Wheelo now, and Wheelo to De La Cruz. Shot gets blocked away. Perfect spot again for the Silver Knights. Under a minute to go in the first. Mustangs really trying to push forward now. Wheelo to the middle. Forbes again, who I don't think has been off the field yet. Ubi Potapovich. Or excuse me, that was Yelovats, who is coming down the near wing, not Ubi Potapovich. Ball sent all the way down, and we are done at the end of the first quarter. We're going to send it to you with some commercials.
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AM Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Gino's East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
Welcome back to the Sears Center. We are headed into the second quarter. The Mustangs are down 2-0 to Syracuse Silver Knights, which probably, if anyone's watching at home, probably a little shocked at that. As you see, there is a highlight of Taylor Bond, as he's not too happy. And we have finally we have the right spelling of the goal scorer. The first goal scorer is Antonio Manfoot. He was the one that scored the first goal. We were waiting on official word on the last name. We finally got it up here in the booth. And that is Antonio Manfoot. Now the Mustangs really need to start heating up. It's cold outside. And look at this setup here that we have for the Mustangs. We have Jesus Flores, Miguel Vaca, Taylor Bond, and Wheelo Martinez up front. Now we see Pee Wee Ortega. Wow, this is something. This is a crazy move right here, and I love it by Armando Gamboa, putting Pee Wee Ortega in as the sixth attacker early in the second quarter, trying to find something. He must feel that his team is not completely in it tonight. Doesn't have the full effect. He wants to send a message to them, and what better way than taking out your all-star MVP goalie in the second quarter and putting in your all-star defender. Now Pee Wee Ortega with a pass that gets blocked away. It's 6-on-5 right now for the Mustangs. As you see in the blue jersey, it's Pee Wee Ortega, and Jesus Flores is not on the field right now, as Pee Wee Ortega is taking the sixth attacker role. Not a lot of movement now from the Mustangs. Early in the first quarter, we saw a ton of movement from the Mustangs. Now a lot of perimeter passing. Ball's bouncing all around for the Mustangs right now. No one is getting a shot off. Syracuse doing a great job of playing defense, getting in shooting lanes, leaving the passing lanes wide open for the Mustangs on the outer half. You could see the game plan right now for Syracuse is keep the Mustangs to the perimeter. They feel that they can beat the Mustangs if they can keep them on the perimeter. Wheelo playing it off the boards for a centering pass. It gets deflected out. Now we have refs disagreeing on where the ball should be placed. It will be along the near side boards. Vaca runs over the ball, Wheelo runs over the ball. Vaca takes the shot. Now ball dumped back out to midfield, and no danger so far of keeping the sixth attacker out there for the Mustangs. Mijatovic with Ortega. Ortega at the yellow line. Going to give it to Vaca. Vaca. Mijatovic, will he take a shot? No. There he will. He had an opportunity to one-time that shot instead. Waited for the defender getting in the lane. You want to see that shot be a little quicker than that if you're the Mustangs. Again, now Mijatovic has an opportunity for a shot, passes it up. He had a wide open opportunity if he took it one touch. Mijatovic again, going back to Vaca. Great job defending by Syracuse. Ball gets deflected away. Still danger in the zone for Syracuse. Ball's jumping around. Oh, and Coughlin, the ball was behind him. McNabb was in there for the Silver Knights trying to kick it out, and it was a scramble, but they have still done a great job holding the Mustangs at 0. Vaca with a nice pass, and oh man, Taylor Bond. That is something that we do not see. That is something rare right there, folks. Wide open, side of the net, and Taylor Bond puts it over the net. All he had to do was honestly tap that ball in, and he misses a wide open opportunity, which they needed right there, the Mustangs. Sixth attacker and Pee Wee Ortega is gone. Jesus Flores back in net. See how that works out for the Mustangs. Negro gets tossed down to the ground, and we're going to have a restart. Negro now in his bright pink, pretty cool looking actually, indoor soccer shoes. He's going to take a timeout. And we are going to head to another commercial.
I'm Bobby Lunchar from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
And the restart coming up here for the Mustangs with Pee Wee Ortega going to take it. Norman back now with us, and while we were in the break, we were just saying how this is not like the Mustang team that we are used to seeing. Just kind of, first 10 minutes of the game, as Wheelo gets a shot, and right there is a perfect example of Wheelo not getting everything on it. But first 10 minutes of the game in the first quarter, we were raving about how great the Mustangs were moving without the ball. Nice little setup passes. 2 huge saves by Andrew Coughlin, and everything turned south and quick. Now they kind of look lethargic out there.
Yeah, they were pressuring, at the beginning of the game. They looked like they were in a good rhythm. And we also commented that, they've had a break for a week to kind of regroup. And now, they're down 2 goals.
Here comes Taylor Bond. He takes a shot and he misses wide. Now Wheelo takes a shot and whoa, dangerous play. But now going back to what I brought up earlier too as well was usually sometimes after a week you come out a little lethargic because you had so much time off, and now that looks like it's setting in.
Yeah, like I said, what they need to do is they need to continue to dominate the ball, dominate the game. They were passing very well. If they can continue that rhythm that they started with, there's going to be some goals. But one of the things that we also have to say is that Syracuse, statistically in terms of goal scoring, Syracuse and Chicago.
Taylor Cruz shoots and he scores, and that is a huge goal at a big time for the Mustangs. Not much going for them at all, and that goal really came out of nothing. So that is something you can build on right there for the Mustangs. Syracuse, they better watch out, because I think this train is set to go in motion, and that would probably be, from the saves we've seen Andrew Coughlin make tonight, that's got to be one of the softer ones we've seen him give up.
And they definitely needed a goal at this point right now. One of the things that they were commenting last week about is the team tends to Taylor Bond, he's the number 1 goal scorer on the team, Willow Martinez, but they were saying that the other players need to step it up a little bit in terms of goal, and then it just happened right now.
And De La Cruz the past few weeks has been so close from breaking out to a big game here in the Sears Center, just hasn't got lucky enough. And tonight, that could be a start of something big for the Mustangs and De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Norman.
No, some of the guys that we really need to keep an eye on the Syracuse team is Travanese, which he's already scored a goal because he's the top scorer with 9 goals with Syracuse. The second top scorer is Forbes, number 55. But we also got to keep an eye on, and I'm going to kill his name here, Ubi Parani.
Ubi Potapovich.
There we go. You helped me out, because despite the fact that he's got 2 goals, he's got 8 assists, so he knows where to place the ball and how to find his players.
Yeah, he's already had a pretty strong game for the Silver Knights. There's a nice shot by Mijatovic.
Say that name 3 times, right?
Ubi Badipovic.
Oh, there you go.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it. That's got to be a Balkan name for sure. So whether he's one of those Balkan region guys, that's right up my alley because that's my nationality. So if I didn't know that name, I probably would have a lot of people not happy with me.
Well, I'm glad you corrected me because I knew I was going into uncharted waters with the name.
I think we've all been there before, right? All been there before. Now a restart. And a pass that was literally to no one. Not one Silver Knight player within 5 feet of that pass. There was 3 black jerseys, though, within 5 feet of that pass. Mustangs will take that all day. All right, there's a far side pass and a shot. And, my dad and I, we were talking about this before the game. He's the PA announcer, for those that don't know. And he's obviously seen indoor soccer from the beginning with the Chicago Horizons and all teams like that. And we were saying how indoor soccer actually has become more of a defensive game of late. He remembers the days of games being 15 to 12, almost 20 goals per game for each team. And that was back in the 80s. I mean, that's a long time ago. But now you see these guys and how big they are, how strong they are. It's hard to score goals in this new indoor soccer environment.
Oh, definitely. It's very tough to, we have quicker players. Like you said, we have big players. The Mustangs, they're second in their division, and they're only averaging about 6.2 goals per game right now.
Which is unbelievable from the numbers from before, and a nice play by Dos Santos. But it was just unbelievable. And even not so long ago, back in about 2005, when indoor soccer made its comeback to Chicago, I remember going to games, and these are 1 point game. The couple of years where we had the 2 and 3 point goals, these are all 1 point goals, and the games were once again 15 to 12. And it just in that short of a range of 10, 11 years, these athletes have become so much stronger and faster, and a great save by Jesus Flores.
It just tells you that every game counts. Definitely every game counts because they tend to be very close games.
As you see right now, 2-1. Back a few years ago, we're already at 5 or 6 goals. Now we're at a 2-1 game where, you give up 1 goal, that could be the end of you,
Exactly. So it seems like, the Mustangs have bounced back and it's a tied game.
Wow.
They got 1 goal in and they're looking for their second goal right now. We have Sandoval out there. I'm sure he wants to score another one for the home crowd since he got to do that twice last week.
Forbes with a great shot that hit the inside of the crossbar, and there is a shot and a goal by Nate Bordeaux as he puts his team back up 2. And this is what we got in trouble with last week against Milwaukee. We gave them a few goals. Then we would score a goal within the 5 or less minutes. But after we'd scored that goal, we'd give another goal right back. So they increased their lead back to 2 or 3 goals or whatever the case may be. That's a trap the Mustangs cannot get into tonight.
Yeah, I hope they don't fall back into that because, it's not good when you're always a goal or 2 down and when you're always playing at a deficit. You want to make it a competitive game and not always feel that pressure that you have to catch up to the visiting team.
The Mustangs are such a good team in this league. And, obviously making a 2-day trip out here for Syracuse, if they can steal one here in Chicago, I mean, you have to think that they would be one of the happiest teams, one of the most confident teams in the league, coming out of Chicago and saying, hey, we beat the Chicago Mustangs, who are obviously they're no joke. I mean, this team is championship caliber without question.
Oh, definitely. Chicago's in the hunt to go to the playoffs. Last week they were in the first position in their division. Right now they've kind of gone down to second place, and I'm sure that they'd definitely like to get a winning streak going right now.
Norman, I know you have to jump back into the Spanish broadcast, so now we'll bring in Bobby Lonchar. Bobby, welcome to the broadcast. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Wish we were doing a little bit better. 3-1 on the score sheet so far. Our Mustangs looked good for the first 10 minutes of that first quarter, and then all of a sudden something hit them. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, we're having some opportunities here. We missed an open goal earlier. We got to get those easy ones.
What are you seeing here from well, as I was about to say, what are you seeing here from Syracuse?
Well,
there's another goal right there.
There's
for
a prime
Manfoot.
example, 3-on-2. If you take a look at the replay, we got to get a couple guys behind the ball a little bit better.
We also talked about this just before our last goal. Was we got in a little bit of this last week against Milwaukee, where Milwaukee got out to a 2-3-4 goal lead. We would score a goal. You think the momentum is going to be, back on our side, and then we let them score within the next 2 minutes, and they regain their confidence and their momentum back. You can't be trading goals when you're down 4-1. You have to string a couple together. There's a close opportunity by Bond that can't go in.
Yeah, there's a header just to the opposite post.
And
but you can see
again.
These guys are making runs right through the side and through the middle and getting opportunities.
And
that's what I'm telling you. They're making the runs.
Forbes by Ubi Padipovic, who passes it right to the center to Forbes. And now I think a timeout is in the works here for the Mustangs. They need something to slow this down, because this is not what Coach Gamboa is looking for. And there's the timeout. We'll be right back with Bobby Lonchar here in 1 second as we go to commercial break.
I'm Bobby Lonchar from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. Vamos, Mustang.
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Gino's East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
Welcome back to the Sears Center, where your Mustangs are down 4 goals, 5-1 to Syracuse Silver Knights. And, it's just not what we're expecting from the Mustangs. I think even though you're the GM, I know you can't say too much, but I think you'd agree with that statement right now.
Yeah, again, it goes back to what I talked about in the last game. We got to get better possession of the ball. We got to be making our marks, and we got to be shielding the other players off the ball so we can create opportunity.
Do you think this week off benefited or hurt the Mustangs overall with not having other games going on this week?
I don't think it makes a big difference. I mean, we have the technical skill. It's just that we got to play a little bit smarter in the game, on the match. We got to mark up a little bit, and we got to make the runs back. We're getting caught with only 2 defenders behind the ball.
Syracuse, obviously, last night really didn't affect them that much with less than a 24-hour turnaround. Now, Bond, and that, they're playing some good numbers games right there, Syracuse, getting 2 men on the ball at all times. There's another opportunity, and that one goes right over the net. But they're taking chances and pressuring the Mustang players to make quick decisions, which are leading to a lot of mistakes. And like you said, when that happens, then the counter is right on. The transition game is going to be right upfield, and you better have the speed to get back.
Yeah, we talk about that, time and space. The focus of concentration around our goal, defending. The same thing when you're attacking.
Yelovats now getting double teamed, and he gets around 2 defenders. But now look at how big Yelovats is right there. You know, I know Mijatovic is a big guy. Negro is not that big of a guy, but just compare. Now you see those 3 right there lined up to each other, and like you said, the size really matters. He just went through one really big guy and one shorter guy, smaller guy.
It makes a difference when you're shielding the ball, and when you're trying to defend. When when you're out positioning or now powering another defender by 30, 40 pounds, it makes a difference.
Especially in the indoor game, you can get away with a little bit. You can use your body a little bit more without getting called. The refs are obviously going to be a little more lenient in a game like this than, let's say, the outdoor game.
Yeah, they're putting hard pressure on us, and they're attacking. We just got to be smart, use our technical skill, and move the ball around.
Well, we have a drop ball here real quick. See some new, once again, it's a reoccurring theme, which is great for the team, is more sponsorship along the boards. I know you wanted to mention some things about the sponsors here tonight while we had a little bit of time.
Yeah, we're going to be at Geno's East, one of our sponsors, after the game on 45 Barrington. So everybody listening should come out and get some pictures with the players and some autographs.
Fiesta Market also make an appearance along the board, so we want to thank them for their sponsorship to the team and their encouragement towards a great season here in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we got Night Owl Productions that does a lot of our print. We got Tone Car Auto Parts that really supports the club as well. And our uniform sponsor, Med.
Mustangs trying to battle back, trying to get any sort of life going in to halftime with 3:45 to go. Here's a ball, and Negro couldn't get his foot to it. Forbes did enough. Ball right off the boards, and that's a nice little play by Yelovats, getting it out of danger for a second. Now ball played all the way back. Forbes making his way down. And now another turnover. Yelovats again. There's such a big frame. It looks like he's fouling all the Mustang players, but he's just that big that if he touches someone, it looks like they're going to fall.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, able to maintain that possession as well as that space.
Bo Yelovats, he's one of those hybrids. He could stay out there for 25 minutes, 30 minutes a night and not be tired and use that body to his advantage.
Well, you need to know when to make the runs. And right now they're putting some pressure on us, but we just got to keep moving up in front of that goal. So we lost the ball again.
I don't think the Mustangs, there's a shot wide or near side miss. I think the Mustangs were not expecting the Syracuse Silver Knights to come out and pressure the way that they have been. This is a shock. Usually, with less than 24-hour turnaround, a team is super tired.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time in the game. We got 2:20 left in the first half. We just need to get a couple goals here.
Sixth attacker coming out, Pee Wee Ortega. Now wearing a different style sixth attacker jersey with the kind of lime green / neon yellow jersey. Pee Wee to Mijatovic. Ortega looking to light the lamp. Gonna find Vaca. Vaca had a gold opportunity earlier in the game. Could not put it past Coughlin. Ortega. Rojas trying to get it to the middle. And once again, the defense of Syracuse. Forbes with a shot that gets blocked away, and Coughlin waits, getting counted out. He's gonna have to toss that ball before the refs blow that whistle. Ball's going to be dumped down. And a good play by Mijatovic. Use it there, and there you go. He's using his big frame to win the ball instead of trying to put his foot in there.
Pushing through the player and shielding the ball.
Oh, that was almost a dangerous play. Ball. Oh, and a great save by Pee Wee Ortega. I was just about to say Jesus Flores.
Good positioning there. Good positioning.
I was about to say Jesus Flores with the big save. Have to remind myself that Pee Wee is the goalie right now. Wheelo with Pee Wee. Pee Wee at midfield, making his way up. Gonna give it to Mijatovic.
Yeah, we need to try to get a couple shots here on goal. I know we're trying to look for the best shot in the position, but sometimes you got to get those deflections.
It's those dirty goals that win you the games, really. When it comes down to it, you're not going to be able to score a highlight reel goal every single time.
Well, they're all packing it in, so, you know, they're taking up that time and that space right here.
Here's the transition again. It's all the way down. It is off the boards.
Yeah,
Forbes.
missed it wide to the right.
Oh, and it hits off the post. That's finally a break there for the Mustangs. Here comes the transition. Vaca had an opportunity to get it to Bond. Now he slows up. Now he has space. He shoots in Coughlin, but Vaca had a 2-on-1. All he had to do was chip it over to Bond, and it would have been a breakaway. The Mustangs are down 5-1 to the Silver Knights. We are going to the halftime. I take that back. We are not going to the halftime show. We're going to break down the first half real quick before we get our halftime show ready. What do you think, Bobby? Not the first half you were looking for.
No, it's not good. I mean, again, we got to be focused as far as marking up players. They're bringing it through the middle. You know, you can see them knocking our players off the ball a little bit, but we got to get more guys behind the ball. We can't give them the easy shots. And even in the last couple of seconds here of the game, you know, you've got an open player on the left-hand side. Thank God he hits the bar there.
Now, how do you do that? Being down 5-1 right now, how do you do that when you need to put some pressure on the offensive side? Because offense right now is, let's face it, hasn't been there tonight.
Yeah, but we've scored 8-9 goals, you know, and a half. So we still got another half. We come out fresh, you know, start like it's 0-0. We start off 0-0 and start capitalizing in our opportunities.
Well, we've seen the sixth attacker out there already early in this game. Is that something that you think Coach Gamboa starts off the third quarter with, having maybe Pee Wee back out there just to generate that spark, that excitement to get those boys going?
I know in the locker room right now, he's really putting some major pressure on these guys to think about what they're doing with the ball on possession. We got to get Taylor Bond to get some better looks at the goal. We had a couple flicks. Maybe we should hit the ball just a little bit harder on those. We talk about that position and we talk about that look at the goal, but we need to capitalize.
Speaking of Taylor Bond, we say it every week, or I should say you say it every week, talking about how the team needs to stop thinking about power and more finesse. And that was one of the things that we saw there with Taylor Bond early in the second quarter. And he missed, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know what? They're all professional players, so we'll capitalize. There's still a lot of time in the game, and we'll come back.
We are going to now go to the halftime show. We'll see you in the second half.
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustang, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
Feel
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustang, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
This is Q&A with Trajce Loki Lostovski. Think what I'm gonna eat after practice. I will eat the fish. I don't know, it's freedom. Do I have brothers? I will fly. Paris. Mickey Mouse. I will change 3 lines because it's gonna be faster game with long balls. Chicken quesadillas. Soccer shoes. Family. Hard work. Respect. Fun. I'm praying. Otorinolaryngologia. My friends. That's gonna be Taylor Bond.
What would you do?
I will fighting with every teammates of my team. I play professional in Macedonia and I play for under 21 national team. I will wish for peace around the world. Celebrate Badnik, is Macedonian, like traditional celebrating, like Orthodox Christian. We celebrate Velikden.
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Ginos East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AME Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. Vamos, Mustang.
And we're back here at the Sears Center for our halftime show as we see the little kids running around having their soccer game, having a little more fun than I'd say a lot of people in the stadium and the Mustangs probably as well, as they're probably getting a lot of word from Gamboa right now. Just not the way that they wanted to do this, as they're down 5-1 to the Silver Knights of Syracuse.
Yeah, it's not a good start for Chicago. You know, they're on a 2-game losing streak. They lost last weekend at home. And, you know, Syracuse is really, you know, putting a lot of pressure on Chicago, and they've come out strong. They're on a one-game winning streak. I'm sure they want to continue to do that, to walk away with another win. Chicago's number 2 in the Central Division, and you know Syracuse is doing pretty good, and Chicago's got to regroup in the locker rooms for the second half.
Well, there's still a lot of time left in the game, you know, but the defense has got to help Flores a lot more than they've been doing, because the Syracuse goals had become, 3 of them had been easy goals, a giveaway on a Sunday afternoon, you know, and they're at home. They gotta respect the house, as the old saying goes, for the home team. But the defense, they're not, or either the Syracuse offense is real good or the defense is lacking a little bit. I don't know, Nick. What do you? I can't put my finger on it.
You know, Bobby and I were just talking about this, and I think it's time for Coach Gamboa to do something really different here. They have big-bodied players. They have big-body players, the Mustangs do, but they're on the defensive end. Mijatovic, Ephraim Beard. Maybe let's put those guys in the forward position. Let's see what a big body can do compared to a Wheelo or a Vaca, who have that smaller stature. Maybe they can wreak some havoc and get a cheapy kind of goal to get things going for the Mustangs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, excuse me, never mind. And Nick, I don't think that's the answer, because, I mean, the Syracuse defense, it's not that big. It is not that big. It's just that they're not coordinating the offensive the way we are used to seeing the Mustangs play, period. I mean, that's about the end of that commentary, because, I mean, at the first 4 games, I know we cannot live on the past. You know, the past, it is what it is, but we live at the present and whatever the future will hold. But the Mustangs have a great offense. Whether they're laying back on their laurels, we don't know.
What do you think, Norman?
Well, definitely, you know, this second half, we have to have a whole different team out here with a whole different mentality, a whole different attitude, because, you know, this is not a way you want to go into the halftime, you know, losing 5-1 in front of a home crowd here today. So definitely, I'm sure that Gamboa is probably talking to these guys. I'm hoping that we have a whole different mental attitude coming out, and that we see Chicago. Well, we've seen Chicago come back in the past before, and it's a doable thing. And we'll see what the second half has in store, because we still have a lot of soccer to play.
Well, last week we had an opportunity to watch Milwaukee play, and there for a second we thought it was going to be a blowout. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Mustangs, and we actually thought we might see overtime, which we've seen a couple times here this year. So do not count out the Mustangs just yet.
Yeah, and we still haven't heard from the usual suspects, Taylor Bond, Willow Martinez, and Vaca. He's great at assists. So if these guys can, you know, get it together in the second half, we still have a lot of game to play. We still have an opportunity to win tonight.
Well, like you said, Norman, there's a lot of time left on the clock. There's 2 quarters. two 15 quarters, but they got to get it in gear. That's, that's about the bottom line. I mean, I can't go no lower than that, Nick. I mean, they just got to get in gear and start scoring some goals. That's it.
Well, the Mustangs are definitely probably getting a kick in the butt right now. Thanks for joining us on our halftime show. We're going to send it to another quick break, and then we'll be back with some highlights.
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AM Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Gino's East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
Welcome back to the halftime show here at the Sears Center. We are going to roll some highlights here. As the highlights are rolling, we'll continue on with the breakdown of the first half. Now, we were talking about the Mustangs and what they've done right, what they've done wrong, but we have to give credit to Syracuse as we see the first goal right there from Syracuse early on in this game. But Syracuse not tired at all after less than 24-hour turnaround.
Yeah, Syracuse really putting a lot of pressure on Chicago. They've had Chicago on the run for a little bit, and that's why they're up 5-1 at this point. And this is important. This homestand is very important to Chicago because they're going to go on the road next. They got two away games, so they need to really stay in second place and continue winning these games so that they can stay on the hunt, for the playoffs.
Yeah, as you said, Norman, it's going to be a little break from playing at the Sears Center. January 17th being the next game here at home, I believe it was. They just ran a graphic as we were breaking down Syracuse. Tico, what have you seen from Syracuse so far that makes it tough for maybe the Mustangs to defend or score against?
Well, I mean, obviously being the scoreboard says it all. I mean, De La Cruz just scored that goal. He left two players on its trail, Syracuse players on his trail. He opened up to the right, crossed it with his with that right foot, and then found the back of the net. And about that's the only difference that so far the Mustangs had to show for in two periods. And then everything, it's like an avalanche with apple flavor.
Yeah, normally, we haven't seen the usual suspects. We haven't seen Willow. We haven't seen Taylor. I know they're making a great effort, but like what we said, we need more players to kind of step up there so it's not always on their shoulders. And, we'll see what the strategy is in this second half.
Tico brought up a really good point as we're watching these highlights here play. A lot of very easy goals given up. Look at Jesus Flores. What do you expect him to do there? Nothing. He can't do anything. It's a wide open net and a wide open goal.
I mean, nothing to take away from the Syracuse offense. That number 99, number 55, that number 3, that number 13, so on and so forth. I mean, so far, I hate to sound redundant, but so far they got Chicago's number. whether that's a 3-1-2, whether it's a 4-1-1, a 2-2-4, but they got their number.
You said it right. They're just more hungry. They're hungry, and they want to take this game. It's going to be interesting. I think we'll get a good.
And number 31, that McNabb. Oh my God!
He's been doing
and that number
a great
5,
job.
Vitali, Domenico Vitali. Oh my God!
They've been doing a great job from top to bottom. I think we'll see here from the Mustangs in the first 2 to 5 minutes whether they have it in them tonight to take over this game, because they really need to start over from scratch and get that momentum.
Yeah, definitely forget about the score. This is a brand new game because Syracuse has done a great job of picking the defense apart and getting through them. So, like I said, they got to come out with a whole different attitude, and it's a new ball game. Forget about the score and just play the Mustang game that we know that they can play.
Let's find out that halftime chat
Works
or
out.
the lock-off thereof. It's going to show some dividends on the third quarter coming up.
Well, I know you have to go, Tico. You got your listeners to get to.
Thank you, guys.
So enjoy them. Thank you for joining us in the halftime show. Always good when Tico could come over. I know, Norman, you've been making your way over here a lot this year, and it's rare for Tico to get a chance to talk to some of our English viewers out there. So it's always good when he can cross over, because he obviously could see the game out of different eyes as well. So when you have 6 pair of eyes up here, it's always better.
It's always better, and we're all wearing glasses.
Should I say 12 pairs of eyes?
That's what I was going to say.
That's as you said that, I looked over. I'm like, wait, Tico does have glasses on. I didn't want to sound stupid and then say 12 and then him not have the glasses on. But yeah, 12 pairs of eyes up here, giving you all different types of views.
So let's see what kind of attitude, what kind of game plan Chicago's got here to stay in this ball game.
So Syracuse has the ball here in the beginning of the third quarter, second half. Now here is a turnover by Bond and Forbes. And a great save by Jesus Flores. Tico brought it up. You cannot keep doing that. Jesus Flores can only do so much.
Yep. They got to get an offense going right now, and this is the time to do it. You can't wait until the clock starts ticking, and then you really feel the pressure of having to create magic.
Jesus Flores, I would say, probably would like to have one of the 5 goals back that he has given up. The other 4, the defense has to really take accountability for that. Here's a shot, and Jesus again right on it.
Well, let me tell you, Jesus Flores is definitely getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, this 4-goal deficit has nothing to do with Jesus Flores tonight. He's been the regular Jesus Flores that we always see.
And one of the things that you can appreciate that you can't really appreciate when you're watching it on TV is how fast this ball comes at you. You have to have some reflexes in order to get in front of that ball as a goalkeeper.
Pee-wee gets pushed down there on the back. The restart there. Clock still hasn't restarted. Then now the clock finally restarts. The ref's trying to give some extra time to the Mustangs, which I'm a fan of. That's fine.
Well, we need it tonight. Syracuse still has a lot of fight in them, I'm sure they don't want to give up any goals at this point and just go out, winners.
They're still
tonight.
being aggressive along the boards there against the Mustang offense.
Yeah, and plus, the pressure is on the Mustangs at this point, Syracuse could just literally kind of hang back and just play tough defense.
Syracuse in a spot where they're loving this spot right now. They don't really need to make any adjustments, in my opinion, from what they did in the first half. Everything that they did is exactly what we're seeing right now, pressuring the man with the ball for the Mustangs, and it's just working out very well.
Exactly. One of the things that, you can't really completely count the Mustangs out, because this is a team that we've seen them dig deep when they've been down a few goals. So anything's possible here. They can still come back. They've done it before. But like I said, they got to come out with a totally new attitude, dominate the ball, make their passes, and communicate well.
Flores up, giving it to Rojas. Rojas, De La Cruz, the only goal scorer tonight for the Mustangs. Negro with the centering pass, and oh my, Coughlin just getting lucky on that one. He had no clue where the ball was. It just hit him right in the face.
Just hit him in the face. Just got lucky on that shot.
Well, we have a second here. We hope everyone is home nice and warm, enjoying this Mustangs game wherever you may be. Bundle up if you do go outside. It's going to be a cold night. We want everyone to be all right. Now here comes the Syracuse Silver Knights again. 50-50 ball. That's one of the few 50-50 balls we've seen the Mustangs win tonight. Taylor Bond trying to do a give and go to himself. And Coughlin, great game tonight by Mr. Andrew Coughlin tonight.
Doing very well, very well.
Yelovats now.
And let me tell you,
Pichardo.
Syracuse, they have a lot of quick players that can move well with the ball and without the ball.
Face, maybe right on the head, right on the forehead. It looked like, yeah, right on the forehead. And that shot was coming at least 60 miles per hour. And these indoor soccer balls, as you can tell, they are really hard soccer balls. They're not very soft, no padding on the outside like some of these outdoor balls you see. And you also see on the bounces here how crazy high that the ball goes after it hits the turf. There's Jesus Flores. It looks like he's going to be all right. But wow, that shot, like I said, every bit of 50 to 60 miles per hour right to the forehead. Jesus looks like he's doing all right now. Yeah, he's up now. But wow, that ball right to the forehead of Flores. I mean, that definitely does not feel good at all. As a former goalie myself, I've been there. It takes a few minutes to get back in the swing of things. And it's good to see that Jesus is going to stay in the game. So now the restart for the Silver Knights. Centering, oh wow, that's a play we don't really see very often. Almost like a outdoor soccer type of cross, looking for the header. Flores gonna dump it down. Finds nothing but a Silver Knight. Rojas looking to get his boys ready to go here. Mijatovic plays it down to Vaca. Vaca with a turn. Waits at the former three-point arc. 50-50 ball all over the place. And that's the story of the night, is that Syracuse is getting these 50-50 balls. And now we got Mijatovic down. And now he's starting to make his way up. Uwe Potapovich trying to find one of the Silver Knight players streaking down. Couldn't. Rojas to Mijatovic. Mijatovic, he misses an open net. The second wide open net that the Mustangs have missed tonight. Mijatovic now to Ortega. Ortega to the middle of the Vaca. Ball's 50-50 again, and Coughlin right on top of it. Ortega limping that one off. And the Silver Knights continuing to put pressure on the Mustangs. Jesus Flores can't control it now. Ephraim Beard. And there's a foul right there on Yellowlots. There's Coach Gamboa. He's a little frustrated. It's not so much the effort on the Mustangs. It's just they look more out of sync than anything else. They've had their opportunities. They've had their chances. They just couldn't bury those chances. So I don't look at the effort at all for the Mustangs as being an issue. It's just one of those nights where the one bounce doesn't go for you. The one pass isn't quick enough. They're just out of balance right now. And that's the only thing that I'm pointing to that I could see from up here in the second level of the Sears Center that is hampering the Chicago Mustangs. Jesus Flores going to give it to Pichardo. And that was just eaten up again by Coughlin, who has not been giving up any rebounds whatsoever tonight. Ball sent down to Tavernus. Tavernus. It's been kind of quiet tonight. Hasn't done too much. Hasn't had to do too much for the Silver Knights. There's a turnover by the Mustangs. Again, Jesus Flores. He's got to be careful here. Mustangs just looking for anything, and now all these passes are 20-foot passes. There's a 20-foot pass that worked. Gonzalez shot, misses near side. Gibson passing it to Forbes, and now the ball sent down by McNabb. Bond now with the ball at his feet. What will he do? He'll look at his options, finds Rojas, leaves it for Wheelo. Wheelo takes a shot, an easy save for Coughlin. Ball gets dumped to the side as Vaca now gets it. Forbes and Gibson now double teaming Vaca. Vaca has no chance to do anything. 7:10 approaching here in the third quarter here in the Sears Center. Mustangs down 5-1 to the Syracuse Silver Knights, who have been doing a great job of keeping the Mustangs in check. Uwe Potapovich with a sweet move. Tavernus gets pushed into the boards by Ephraim Beard. Good indoor soccer right there, physical indoor soccer. Flores making his way up, looking for Bond in the corner. Bond with a centering pass, no one home. Beard taking a shot, gets deflected. A couple missed opportunities again for the Mustangs. Ball sent down, and here we go again. Silver Knights looking to add. Shot goes wide as Thompson. Close to extending this lead to a 5-goal lead. Mustangs, it's huge if they can get a goal here. They need one bad to be the first team to score in the second half. Would be a great momentum shift. Mijatovic. And here comes the sixth attacker. Will it be Pee-wee? It will be. Forbes looks up, sees that Pee-wee Ortega had an opportunity for a shot, didn't take it. And now Uwe Potapovich, will he win the 50-50? No. Ortega gets there. Ortega battling, gets thrown down to the ground by Uwe Potapovich, and we go the other way. Ortega with Vaca. Vaca now making his way up. Ortega getting pressure with Mijatovic. Look at now the pressure by the Syracuse Silver Knights. Not afraid to be, not really out of position, I should say. Not afraid to leave a man open, which is pretty impressive. Bond now with Forbes all over him. Wheelo to the middle. Wheelo trying to get a shot off, passes it off to Negro. Mijatovic shoots and he scores! Stefan Mijatovic puts it in the back of the net and he makes it a 3-goal deficit for the Mustangs. That's the first goal of the second half. And will this be a sign to come for the Mustangs? Let's cross our fingers and hope. Here you go again, Wheelo saving that play and great vision by Negro, who puts it on a silver platter there for Mijatovic. Crowd finally has something to cheer about here in the Sears Center. That was a big redemption move right there for Mijatovic, as he had a wide open net earlier. He totally just missed it, flat out missed it, and now he makes up for it. Syracuse getting talked to right there. And now, once again, it's Veterans Day every day here with in the Sears Center and for the Chicago Mustangs, as we give thanks to another vet who is currently serving and is here tonight. We appreciate everything that he has done for this nation, and heck, even other nations around the world, with freedom and other things that our veterans and military members give to the whole world, which is unbelievable. And the fact that we can have an active military member here at the Sears Center with his family back home, it's something that it's, it sends chills down your spine. And we want to thank every veteran out there. For the ones that are overseas right now or not stationed at home, we want to thank you for all you do. Have a great holiday season. It's not the same not having you guys here and giving you a handshake, but once again, we really want to thank you for what you do. Mustangs getting a quick goal there, Norman. That's something that they need right there. It's still down 3 goals though.
Still down. Anything can happen at this point. And Stefan scored the goal, and it's not somebody that we're used to seeing score traditionally, so that's a good thing.
And he also missed an open net too that he wasn't happy about. Maybe Taylor Bond now scores since he missed the open net. Maybe that'd be nice to get another one from him.
That'd be nice. And like I said, we still haven't heard from Taylor Bond or from Will Martinez, so it's great to get the entire team here, trying to get that goal. So it doesn't necessarily fall on the shoulders of Will and Bond. They're great goal scorers, but it's good to see the full team, applying pressure to Syracuse.
Vaca here along the boards. Vaca has been quiet since the first quarter. Haven't heard his name. I've mentioned his name a few times, but nothing impactful from Miguel Vaca here in the second half.
And one of the things is that you always have to watch Vaca because he's a leader in assists. He knows where to place himself on the field, and he knows how to get to those players that are in scoring position right now. Also, we got El Negro Sandoval. We saw him score twice last week, and I'm sure he'd like to put in another one in the net and contribute to the goal scoring tonight.
He had that nice assist just earlier on, just a second ago. Yelovat's having a game himself tonight, who's on the bench right now, which is something rare. We haven't seen Yelovats be on the bench that much tonight for Syracuse. Tavernus with a shot that goes wide. How about Andrew Coughlin tonight while we have a second and the Mustangs make their way up? He's had a great game keeping his Silver Knights. Here's Vaca. Vaca. What? Vaca waited too long, but it's just not Vaca's night. And as I wanted to mention and give a nice congratulations to Andrew Coughlin, who's had a game so far, he's been all over the place, and that last sequence just showed you the value that he brings to his team.
Oh, definitely. He's been up and down the field. You know, he knows how to play the spaces with and without the ball, and he's having a great night. One of the things that I do have to mention is that we haven't had any cards in this game.
But this is a good game though, because it's been physical enough to where they haven't had to give a blue card. The clock has been going. There's been flow to the game. The refs have been on the same page the whole game. And that's something that fans, players, and commentators like ourselves like to see, because it shows that we're finally getting to a point where we don't have to stop 10 minutes to figure out what the call was. We don't have to give a blue card for every single rough play that we see. It keeps the game going, and I feel like the flow of this game has been better than any other this year.
Oh, it's definitely been a good flow, and I'm sure the players like that too. You know, they like to have that even flow back and forth without the clock stopping all the time. You know, so it's a good thing. And obviously, you know, I'm sure that the team that's always winning always wants that clock to keep running too.
Obviously, we want the clock to go slower, but just the way it's been so smooth. You know, it's been overall it's been a solid game from the flow standpoint.
Definitely. So let's see what the Chicago wants to do right now. You know, they got that extra man now,
and that rolls in, and the Mustangs, once again, we've talked about it, they score a goal. They get one back, and they can't get the second one to keep the momentum going. They always hand that goal right back, and nothing you really could do there. Empty net. There's no mistake. All he had to do was aim right for the middle, which he did, and
it went in. It's 6-2, and it's a tough deficit, being 4 goals down. And, you know, they've been under pressure ever since the game started, because they were down 2-0 in the first half. And, you know, you got to hand it to Syracuse. They're making it very difficult for this Chicago team to get a groove going.
Yeah, the Mustangs, it all goes back to Miguel Vaca had a great opportunity. He waited so long that he let Andrew Coughlin come out of the net and challenge him. Instead of just taking the shot when he had the opportunity, he wanted to do a fancy move, and that's what killed him at the end.
Yep. We're ending the third quarter. And like I said, this Syracuse team, they have very, very quick players. And that's what you have to watch out for.
There he goes again. Miguel Vaca again trying to dance his way. And instead of seeing the clock that he had 6 seconds, he went to go dance. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Norman.
No, it's okay.
But that was a perfect example. Once again, he had an opportunity to get the shot on net, and instead he waited for the defender to come to him, and he tried to juke him out of his boots.
Yep, and you got to take a shot whenever you get a chance to take that shot, because like I said, they're far and few in between.
We have a quick break here coming to you. We'll be right back right after these messages.
I'm Bobby Luncharn from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. ¡Vamos, Mustang!
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Ginos East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
Welcome back to the Sears Center for the fourth quarter of Mustang soccer here. Hope everyone is staying warm. That we are definitely warm here inside the Sears Center. Definitely really cold out there tonight, so please, if you do plan on going out on this Sunday night, make sure you bundle up. If you do not plan on going out on a Sunday night, that's great. You can listen to us. We are here for you for your entertainment value tonight, bringing you some great soccer inside the Sears Center. It has been a pretty good game, yes, and if you are a Mustangs fan, you're probably saying, no, it's not that great of a game. If you're a Silver Knight fan, you're obviously ecstatic. But as we were talking with Norman just a few seconds ago, this has probably been one of the better games officiating. I mean, the Mustangs haven't been on top of their game, but the flow of the game has been very nice. I think this is what the MASL wants to see in their games. It's been very nice what they've been able to do here. Beard now going down low to Taylor Bond, and Taylor Bond right away using his will, and that's exactly what you have to do. We're not looking for the highlight reel goals. We're looking for the dirty goals, the easy goals, and right there is a dirty, easy goal. Put it in a spot. Let your players fight for it. No need to dance. No need to do an extra move. If you have an open opportunity, whoa, excuse me, starting to lose my voice. If you have an open opportunity, take that opportunity. Bond just took it, and a great pass by Beard, finding Bond. Now they cannot give away this goal here. They need to be the next team to get one, is the Mustangs. There's a shot, oh wow, as that hits the board right there by Ubi Badapovic. Negro now. Down low to Beard. Beard shoots and he scores. Ephraim Beard, another goal. And I don't like to toot my own horn here, folks, but this is exactly what I have been talking about the whole time, the whole game. Dirty goals, as we call it in the business. Just shoot it. Just shoot the ball. It might get deflected. It might just go right in the net because no one's in front of you. The defenders have no time to react, and that's exactly how you win these games. You don't win the game by dancing around, doing chop steps over a ball when you have an opportunity in open shooting lane. Great job by the Mustangs right there. Ephraim Beard wants the MVP of the game. You could tell in a matter of seconds he's had a goal and an assist, and that all led from a near miss by Ubi Padapovic. Now Yelovats kicks it back. No one in the middle, and now a team that's looking out of sync is the Silver Knights. Caught out of position and giving up 2-on-1s. When you're up 3 or 4 goals, you don't want to be the team. You do not want to be that team giving up on-man rushes. So Mustangs catching the Silver Knights out of position. The restart. Ball sent down 50-50, and the Mustangs win another 50-50 ball. Forbes now with room. Bond right behind him. Tavernus trying to get it to the center. Takes a shot, misses far side. McNabb overruns the ball, and there is Taylor Bond to pick it up. with a head of steam. Taylor Bond, shoot! Goal! Taylor Bond! There it is! Another goal, and the Mustangs are back. What a great goal right there by Taylor Bond. Taylor Bond putting it in the back of the net for the Mustangs, making it a 1-goal game. And as that happens, Bobby, dirty, greasy goals. That's what has happened here, and they are making a comeback.
Yeah, well, you can see our big guys are getting in the game. So you got 2 goals by Taylor, you got Stefan that came in, and you got Ephraim. You know, so our big guys are getting in there, getting a little bit more physical, and our shots are right on target.
2 guys that missed wide. I mean, they couldn't have got any more open than that. With Stefan Mijatovic, Taylor Bond, both had prime opportunities less than a foot away from the net, and both missed an empty net. And to see those 2 guys bounce back the way they did and not holding their head, I mean, that shows so much character.
But that's what I was talking about in the first half here. You know, we got to get a little bit of a rhythm, put our balls on the go, give ourselves opportunities, and, you know, we're playing more physical. So you see Taylor opening up the space, you see Stefan, and, you know, you see Ephraim Beard here, just, you know, pushing through players.
It's unbelievable. Just within that 2-minute intermission that we had transitioning from the 3rd to the 4th, a completely different team.
But that's what I talked about. We can score goals, and we know it, you know. And you'll see the momentum's changed our way. We're going to be putting massive pressure on them.
We have someone on the field. Oh, yeah. I guess we had a dance competition. I'm not too sure what happened there. All right, well, we're back to playing soccer anyways. We had something going down on the field. We had a fan trying to get a kiss from Taylor Bond, I think.
Could be. A lot of groupies out there.
We've had 3 games here in the Sears Center. 3 really close games. 2 of which that went to overtime. We thought last week would go into overtime. Are we marked for another overtime game here?
Well, if we would have capitalized on some of those opportunities, you know, we'd be ahead right now. So you can see it. We got better possession, and we're taking the players on.
Gonzalez playing it over to Rojas. Rojas at midfield, dumping it down to Vaca. Vaca, oh, there's Bond. Gets blocked away. Vaca had 2 great opportunities in the 3rd quarter, and instead of taking the shot, he wanted to dance around.
Yeah, he's making moves, left foot, right foot, over the ball, trying to get a really good look at it. Sometimes you got to toe poke it or put it through the legs.
I hope he saw the couple goals that we just scored here. They weren't dancing, they weren't moves, they just shot it. They just shot it right away.
Yeah, your momentum's, you know what, you're attacking the goal. That's the best angle to look at.
Bond leaving it for Pee Wee. Whoa. Ball got chipped right into Taylor Bond's face. Bond now with the shot, and that wasting no time. There's another shot.
There we go.
And a goal. Rojas ties this game up, and again, take the shot. Don't wait, shoot the ball.
Looking at the goal, you got to strike the ball. You got to make something happen.
Bond started it all. He took a one-timer. Here it is, one-timer, deflection, and a volley.
And a great volley by Oswaldo, yeah. You see that right in there? You know, Oswaldo's a big guy. He's got his space right there, and he strikes it. First time. We got to be hitting that ball first time, and right through the legs.
Smart play. Instead of trying to go for a full volley, he does a half volley, spikes it into the ground, knowing that he's going to get a bounce high enough to score a goal instead of mishitting it and hitting it into the net.
Great contact following through from his hips.
This is right now an epic, and I mean epic collapse by Syracuse for how they were playing for the first 3 quarters of this game. You would have said the Mustangs don't have a chance tonight.
I said it though in the second half. We can score 8 goals. We've done it before, and this is a prime example.
Tables turn so quickly in an indoor soccer game.
That's what it's about, the soccer game with indoor. You know what? You keep putting pressure on them. You keep pushing. You know, we're getting a little bit smarter as far as our opportunities here, and we're doing first-time hits. We're not touching the ball 3-4 times before we shoot.
Forbes, Manfoot. Ball right there for Forbes. Shoots it. Oh. Rojas now winning.
Got to get the ball up to Vaca.
And there goes Mijatovic. Mijatovic to Vaca. Vaca takes a shot and it gets deflected away.
There you go.
Goal.
What I'm talking about. First-time shots.
Wow. That deflection finally going towards the Mustangs' way in the lead to the Mustangs, and this is one of the most epic
It's a great comeback. It's a great comeback. It's what I talk about. Vaca shoots the ball through the legs, it deflects off the defender, and then a first-time shot, opposite post.
Don't wait. Shoot the ball, and look what happens.
Yeah, we're putting great pressure on the defense, and we're making our runs. You know, we're making our runs. You can see 3 defenders just standing there staring, you know, and a great hit, a great strike.
Wow. Unbelievable comeback by the Mustangs. Now the Mustangs just need that clock to run, as it has all game. The refs have done a good job of keeping the flow of the game. They need that clock to keep running. No cheap fouls. If you need to clear it out of bounds as a last-ditch effort, do it.
Yeah, that's one thing you've noticed on this game. We didn't have any penalties here.
And I got to tell, I'm critical of the refs. I'll be the first one to tell you. And that, I think that's a commentator's job, is to say it. But I also think a commentator's job is to tell them when they do a good job. And tonight they've done a great job.
Yeah, they're letting both teams play, you know, and you can see it. But we got to get off the ground. Stefan's got to stop that diving. That could hurt us.
That play right there in the first 3 quarters would have been a goal for Syracuse. Now the table has turned. They cannot connect on their passes, and they're getting caught.
We have the momentum. We got to find the open player, though. We got to switch the field to Sandoval there. Yeah, Sandoval's sitting on the opposite side, you know, waiting for the ball. We got to move it quicker.
While we have a break, I know we've had some sponsors recently join with us, but tonight is a Sunday night, and I know you have a little partnership with Gino's East, if you want to elaborate on that for us.
Yeah, Gino's East, located 45 Barrington Road, just like a couple minutes away from the stadium. So we'll be heading over there probably around 5:30 after the game, doing autographs, signing, whatever you got. You know, bring whatever you have, jerseys. You can get some stuff there from us. Take pictures with the players. It's a great environment. You know, they got a nice setup there. They can host parties anywhere between 50 to about 1,000 people. So it's really nice. So everybody's welcome.
That's very, and I know you have a partnership also with Buffalo Wild Wings, that you had an event. We had a video here on Wednesday with a lot of fans coming out. I've seen that you guys put up a Mustang jersey up there as well inside of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. It was probably about 150 people that turned out. Restaurant was packed. It was a great opportunity for exposure. Here we go.
And Bond, redemption on the open net. He had no mistake about this one.
That's what I'm telling you. Strike the ball. You got to hit the ball.
This is a runaway train now, the Mustangs.
That's what I keep talking about. You can see the pressure. We're attacking the goals, you know, and we're shooting. We're shooting. We're using the walls, and the ball's coming right back to us. Look at that. Where's their defense? They all got stuck watching us. 5 players.
Wow, this is unbelievable.
2-on-1. We're creating momentum. You can see us. Nice stride. He's patient right in front. Ball comes off the wall and just side foots it right in.
Bobby, I've sat here and in the Grand Sports Arena, and I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. And I'm a Mustang employee, so this I want to keep my job after saying this.
Just say it.
I have never seen a team play the Mustangs better than Syracuse, and I never seen the Mustangs play as bad as they were in that first half. The first 3 quarters,
we were off. Yeah, we were off.
And I've seen every home game and most of the road games. I've never seen them play that bad, and I've never seen a team play this good.
Well,
But
you see a marking. Stefan just put the player down on the pitch. See, now we're attacking 3-on-3, 3-on-2.
look at how great this team actually is to come back like this. This is unprecedented.
We talked about it in halftime. You know what? I just said it as we left. You know what? It's a 0-0 game starting the second half. That's what I said.
Crazy.
And right now we got 8 goals on the board.
Crazy. I've never seen a team play the Mustangs this well and then all of a sudden fall from the face of the earth. Credit to the Mustangs to have that energy, and whatever Coach Gamboa said, to me he's always the coach of the year because he has these guys back at it.
He promised them all an extra Gatorade after the game.
An extra maybe a little more than a Gatorade, I would say.
But here we go, 2-on-2. Look at, see, they're not running as much as they did in the first half. So yeah, they got a little one ball here on us.
They sat back on their heels is what happened, and it's evident.
Oh, they could have been a flick. They could have been number 9 right there. But you can see they're flat-footed now. See, should be a 2-minute.
And I have to say this too. I have to say this about.
See, that's unfortunate with Vaca come back in on a retaliation.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you something, Bobby. Again, the refs with the right call, though. Right call. And here you're going to see what happened here as we let it run.
Well, you can see Ontario coming through with the left foot right from behind on Negro Sandoval. You know, taking him down. He wasn't going for the ball on that.
Said a few choice words. And
yeah, then Vaca comes in to protect this player.
There's Vaca.
But there you go on the pushing.
Yeah, but see, that's a good job by the ref saying both you guys are going this way. It won't linger. They both go to the
cool
box.
off.
They
Sit down in
can
the
yell
sin
at
bin.
each other from across the way. You know.
Yeah, it's competitive. I tell you, everybody that comes in our house here, they want to beat us. They want to beat us.
As I was saying before that foul, I want to give credit to one Syracuse player who deserves a lot is Andrew Coughlin. He's been hung out to dry by his players in this fourth quarter. I mean, when you're not marking your players on the other side, which we've seen, Jesus Flores was on top of his game, but how many open goals can you give?
Right.
And you can't blame the goalie for that.
Well, Syracuse's defense, they're a little flat now. I mean, yeah, they were up by a bunch of goals, and the momentum changed. Just as I mentioned, going in, at the end of the second half, we're running up and down. We got better pace. Our pace is a little bit better, and maybe our endurance is a little stronger here. So, still 9 minutes left in the game, and we'll see how it finishes off. We
were waiting for the effects of that game last night for Syracuse to kick in. I think it's safe to say that it's probably, kicked in now. Now this is all the Mustangs need to do. Just keep the ball right over here.
We need possession, correct.
Don't try to get fancy and dump it all over the place. Let them come at you. Why even look to pass it? There's not a defender within 5 feet, just right there. Just keep it right there.
We talk about in soccer all the time. You don't have to get rid of the ball. If there's no pressure on you, you don't have to pass it.
There's no one within 10 feet.
That's it. Opening up the field. We're using the midfield. You see that? We're just spacing them now.
Look, 20 feet.
We're making them space.
20, 30 feet right there. Now 10 feet in between Bond and the nearest defender. Mine is just keep it at your foot. Keep it at your foot.
Right. They cannot score if we have the ball. Easy rule.
See, and now we're
giving them the ball now.
This is what happens.
It away. We went from 100% possession ball. Now we lost it.
That could have been. They could have at least brought down another 2 minutes on that clock.
Yeah.
Easy.
We don't have to attack. We got to create the spaces. Doesn't have to just be on a counterattack. Now the field's opened up quite a bit. You can tell.
Oh yeah. Shot that goes wide. Looking for any type of encouragement for Silver Knights, and they don't. Uwe Potapovic playing it to Gibson.
So that's what I said. We got 4-on-4 on the field right now. So this could be to our advantage.
It's a shot that goes.
Yeah, left foot over the goal. So it's 4-on-4. This could be, a plus to us. They got to cover a little bit more ground. We're up by 2 goals. 7:27 left. We just got to be smart.
Rojas now with Flores. Oh, that's not a good play by Negro.
Yeah, they gave the ball easily to make there. So
This is perfect now.
and we win
Once
it
again,
back.
They have room. Sorry for the.
So that's what I said. We need to find the open space and the open player. We're keeping possession here, and the clock's running down.
Sorry for the choppy broadcast right there. We have the concession guys walking behind us trying to move these big carts. We don't want our toes to get run over up here. Now the counter for Syracuse. 6:40 to go here in the Sears Center. The Mustangs with the comeback of all comebacks.
So we're doing a better ball coming back behind the ball, and better coverage is what I meant to say. So you can see our midfielders coming through, and we're taking up that space.
Forbes now at the yellow line. Playing it down to Deverness. Ball bouncing all over the place. Mustangs win possession. Rojas trying to get it out along the boards. Can't. De La Cruz.
Yeah, they're fighting hard. De La Cruz is putting his body in there.
It's like a ping pong match down there. No one wanted to keep the ball.
Yeah, well,
Baca
tight
now.
space, so.
Baca should just play right back to Flores. There you go. Got spit. Now
Yeah, now it's a cat and mouse. Cat and mouse. Now they got to run.
Now Syracuse is starting to bring up the pressure. Oh, bad pass.
See, we can't let that happen. We talked about this last week as well, putting the ball through the middle of the field from our keeper. The ball's got to be brought up to the top of the line, so back to our forwards right away.
Jesus with a real bad turnover there. That's too easy.
But our defenders got to be back there too, helping our keeper a little bit. We got caught with that front. Look you can see on the replay, we're behind their forward.
But the reason though too behind that a little bit is the turnover.
Yep.
Which, as
we
weren't
weren't ready for that. We just weren't ready for it.
Yeah, Syracuse was pressing our ball handlers right there.
Well,
That's
we talk
why
about
they
possession,
were behind
smart
our
possession,
defenders.
using that space.
Exactly right. Mustangs now.
Again, we're putting the ball out of bounds. We're giving the ball up right here. We need to be smarter. We need to hold the ball. But we need to keep running. We need to keep controlling the middle of the field.
Bond's not too happy with the ball distribution right now. Approaching 5:40 to go. Mijatovic with a nice header. Now
He did a great job getting his body in there, right in front of it. And here we go.
Trying to get it to Bond, couldn't. Wheelo's still fighting. See, that was a good job by the ref. That's a handball that the refs didn't call.
Yep.
But the refs,
that was great defending by Willow, coming back and putting major pressure on the player.
Great job by the refs not to call a foul. Let them battle that.
Yep.
It's not the outdoor
50-50 ball.
game.
It's a 50-50 ball.
Both defenders' arms were extended, so you can't call one player for that.
There was no advantage. So here we go. Again, Syracuse is moving that ball around now.
They got the smelling salts out apparently on the bench. Coughlin. Manfoot.
They're going to put a little pressure on her. Here we go, fighting for the ball.
Oh.
So there'll be a foul right there.
That was a body check.
Yeah, well, that's what we need to be doing, because this is what they were doing to us in the first half. They were being a little bit more physical, quicker on it, and we're putting pressure now. We're fighting for every 50-50 ball.
There's a shot by Padapovic that gets deflected away. And now we have a whistle in the back of the play. Syracuse is going to have a restart.
I think he called that one on Pichardo. Uri Pedipovic, you can see this with his left foot here. I mean, he strikes the ball.
He's been all over the place tonight for Syracuse, one of their better players, no question. Man-foot down to Forbes. Forbes getting turned around. Nice play by Negro. 4 minutes to go. Inside the Sears Center. You have to think the sixth attacker is going to be coming out soon for Syracuse. Ball just sent all the way down by Rojas. A regroup for both teams. Forbes to Ubi. Paripovic. Down low to Yelovats. Yelovats trying to turn in a good play by Taylor Bond. Bond going down, just dumps it.
We just need to be smart right here. We need to defend, and then we can counter.
Yelovats trying to get the ball and does.
See, being pushed off the ball right there.
50-50 ball. Oh, man. Save of the day by Negro.
Yeah, Negro came in big there. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Just put that ball out of bounds. Don't get fancy right in front of the goal. Made a great save. I don't know if that ball would have been going in there, but it was close.
You don't want, when it's that close to the net and an open net, you don't want to play any games.
Nope.
Clear that ball and send it to Mars if you have to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we got 3:26 left in the game, and you can see our guys are defending that space. We just need to be smart. Can't be fancy.
The restart for the Mustangs. Obviously, it's the Silver Knights that are having the restart.
Yep. Us on a defense here.
Forbes back post. No one there to get a good shot off. Another shot, good block.
Great pressure from us
Huge.
on defending. Excellent.
See, this is the thing, though. The clock stops. The Syracuse Knights, Silver Knights get an opportunity to game plan something up here real quick. Whatever they have in their repertoire. The Mustangs got to find a way to keep that clock
but
running.
Rojas put great pressure on that. You know what?
He did.
We're not giving time. Rojas is coming in there and they're hustling. So we got Pee Wee out there. You know, Taylor. We just got to keep putting pressure on. Don't give him an easy look at the goal.
Nice save.
Great shot and a great save. There you go. Nice deflection out. It's our ball.
This time, at least the clock stops with our possession, that's fine. If the clock stops and we get possession, perfect.
Yeah, so you got Vaca coming back on the field, De La Cruz. You got Rojas still. You got Stefan. So we just got to be smart now. We got to capitalize in the space, open up the field. We just can't give away the easy goal now.
Ball sent all the way up.
Great defensive win in the middle of the field there.
Oh, that's not the greatest clear in the world. You got to win that ball. Still 50-50. Ball all over the place. Now
yeah, a couple of their guys on the floor there looking and watching. But this is part of the indoor game, you know. When you're against the board there, you don't have a lot of space. The
restart for Ubi Paripovic. Sixth attacker.
Yeah, Bordeaux's got his arms up looking, asking. There you go, right over.
Ball sent way
He's got a heck of a shot, but ball's got to be on target. We talk about it. I mean, he's got power. When he puts his leg in it.
Getting to 3 minutes left in this game. The Mustangs probably feel like that's an eternity from right now. They really are looking to get that time off the clock.
Well, we just need to contain.
Got to be careful. There you go. If you're going to get
from one keeper to another keeper with a timeout here.
We got a timeout. We have a timeout. We're going to go to our last break of the game here. We'll send it to commercial. We'll be back. Wow. What a comeback. What a comeback.
Bobby Lunchheim from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, chicagomustingspro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at chicagomustingspro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AML Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustangs, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. Vamos, Mustang.
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Gino's East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.
And we're back for the last 3 minutes of this game. Mustangs trying to do everything they can to run this clock out. Syracuse trying to do everything they can to tie
they pulled
this
their
game
keeper.
up.
They got the sixth guy out here.
Looks like is that Forbes or is that Gibson? I can't see it's Forbes. Forbes is the one. I just looked at the bench. Gibson is on the bench.
Rojas puts pressure. Pee-wee to the middle of the field. We got to watch out on defense. There's a player behind us, a forward.
Now we wait. And Vaca with a nice little spot to maybe win this ball. He gets it over to Ortega.
And here's a goal!
Goal! Pee-wee Ortega getting that 9th goal, and the 2-goal lead is back for the Mustangs.
Exactly what we're talking about. You know what? We're running now. We're basically winning the midfield. We're getting the ball away, and we're capitalizing. Exactly what we talked about. Being patient and being smart.
Exactly what the Mustangs needed. A comeback win like this.
Yeah, it's difficult. You know, they come up winning by such a long spread here, and we talked about it at halftime as far as being smart, using the field, and attacking. And you know what? It's working out for us.
With the next 2 games coming on the road too, this would be huge to finish this game off with a W.
Yeah, it's great. I know New Year's Eve, I think there's an afternoon game, 3 o'clock or something, and we'll be in Milwaukee playing. So hopefully we get a lot of people from Chicago come up and watching us there.
It'd be nice to get a nice.
Yeah, we need a win up there as well.
Group. Yeah, the rivalry.
Yeah, we owe them something.
Something real nice, hopefully. So we're coming up to 2:20 left.
Now Dos Santos in there in the middle of the field. You got Stefan, great header back to the middle.
Now it's just about really keeping the ball in play. You do not want the ball to go out of bounds if you're the Mustangs. Keep it on the surface. Just run that clock out. 2 minutes.
Totally different game second half. See, it's good pressure. Unfortunately, a little foul in the back there, but it's good pressure.
Two minutes to go in the Sears Center on this freezing Sunday night.
Yeah, I think it's like -5 degrees out there, but we will be at Gino's East on 45 Barrington after the game around 5:30, so we'd love to see some of our fans come out there. Here comes another goal. Oh, what a great save and a deflection and defense.
Yeah, come on out to Gino's East, celebrate hopefully what looks like to be a win for the Mustangs. The players are well, obviously, as the GM, you don't want to see these guys eating about 3 or 4 pizzas each because then that'd mean they get out of shape.
That's so, okay. We could put a couple pounds on some of these guys.
Maybe instead of the 2 pieces that they'll eat, maybe you let them eat 4 as a celebration. And they can go wild on the salad, right?
Well, there's, again, 1:49 left in the game. We just got to be smart, and we just can't give them the easy goals.
This is going to be the final timeout of our game here. We're going to stick here in the Sears Center.
Yeah, I apologize. It's -5 degrees out. So who can ever make it, we would love to see some people come out and get some pictures with us.
Yeah, it's definitely cold out there. We want everyone, obviously, if you can't make it out, we won't be mad at you. We understand it's -5 outside.
Hot chocolate for everybody who comes, right?
Hot chocolate would be nice. But most importantly, just stay. It gets dangerous when it gets cold like this out there. So the main thing is stay safe. If you're watching us tonight, just stay in. Really, honestly, don't force it. But if the fans, obviously in the stadium, you're already out, you might as well come on out to Gino's East and celebrate with us. And I believe, is that we're aiming for every Sunday game for the rest of the year, probably. Correct, being at Gino's East. That would
we'll be at Gino's East every Sunday after our games.
So if you can't make it out to this Sunday, feel free to
get out to our next game.
Come on out to the next game. enjoy some Geno's East.
There's a couple things we've also been working with. We're working with B96 radio station here about doing some concerts at our games as well. So we've got a couple things in the lineup from people that have contacted us from American Idol and people that have been on The Voice about coming out here and doing some shows before and halftime.
Yeah, that'd be a nice draw for the fans.
Yeah, little special extra. So here we go.
Go to Twitter also and
Greatly
Facebook.
placed, throw that ball.
If you have any suggestions for the team, whether it be fan experience or heck, if you want to see a certain artist that you think that the Mustangs can bring in, give the suggestions. I know you guys always like or a follow on Facebook. That's big. Or even Instagram.
Yeah, you can just give us a call in the office, or you can just send us an email. So we're looking for people to plug in with the team and promote. I mean, there's a lot of good local talent in Chicago. So we got a minute 23 here. We got great possession, and it's getting a little bit physical again.
As long as the ball stays in play.
And a great strike.
Oh!
That ball was dipping. It just did not dip enough.
That's okay. That's not the worst thing in the world, though.
Here we go. Unlucky.
Oh. Because that was just like a dump. They just dumped it down the field. That was the worst that came out of that.
Yeah, you can see Syracuse is they're not having the continuity they did the first half. So we're putting good pressure. There's a little bit of panic on their end. So 50 seconds left. It looks like we're going to be home victor today.
Time running out. That ball goes out of play.
Yeah, the ball's on his opposite foot, and the ball's coming in there at 60, 70 miles an hour.
No chance. No chance. What a comeback in the Sears Center, folks. This, I believe, may be the biggest deficit ever overcome for a victory for the Mustangs. They were down and out like you wouldn't believe, and they're going to be walking out of this place winners.
Yeah, we got 35 seconds left, and again, here comes Taylor with a header. Oh, a little flick. Oh, he was outside the box and a handball. Forbes, I mean, there's nothing he can do on that. Again, Taylor Bond's coming in fast and strong. He's coming in hard. You know, when you're not playing keeper all the time, sometimes it's difficult to judge that.
Exactly.
So we have a little shootout here, one-on-one. And we got Vaca. Vaca capitalized last time, I think, on his penalty shot,
yeah,
right?
You're right.
Upper left-hand corner.
You're right.
If I'm giving anything away here, but that's why I said this is going to be number 10. We were down with only 2 goals. This could be the 8th goal that I talked about.
Unbelievable turn of events.
He's got a great experience. This guy's played all over the place. So he's patient, quick feet. What's great about this guy, left foot, right foot, inside, outside. There he goes. Gets a goalie on the ball on the floor and right through his legs.
I was bashing on Vaca earlier saying stop dancing. There's an opportunity where you can dance because it's only you and the goalie.
Yeah, one fake. Goalie makes a dive, pushes the ball to the outside, and strikes it right underneath him.
And that's the 10th goal. And as we watch this highlight, I got to say, I feel for Coughlin, as he was what Jesus Flores was earlier in the game. No defensive help, nothing. These goalies.
Total switch. I said this. 8 goals. We could come back with 8 goals. Look at that. One little quick flick to the side of the ball. It makes a move.
Both goalies tonight, I have to tip my cap to both of them for being battlers. That's what they were tonight. The Mustangs just came in at the right time and scored the 8 goals that you were talking about.
But this is what I talk about. You know, with the MESL here, and you got great competition from a lot of great cities here. You know, it's great to see with indoor soccer.
Now we're getting down to 10 seconds.
That could have been another one right there.
And there goes the clock. And your Chicago Mustangs
great game,
have
great
won
game.
Another one in the Sears Center. A great comeback, the biggest comeback in team history.
I just want to thank all the Syracuse team too, and everybody that comes to support, you know, the Chicago and indoor soccer. I mean, the sport's going to continue to grow on the inside level here. You know, we welcome everybody to plug in to the organizations and whatever town you're close to. You know, the games aren't that expensive. Bring out your families and support the indoor soccer.
And on that note, I think we end it because you said it best. Just support the game. Your Mustangs win 10-7 after an epic comeback by the Mustangs. That's it, folks. Have a great night and a great Christmas. We'll see you January 17th.
I'm Bobby Lunchar from the Chicago Mustangs, the general manager. Go to our website, ChicagoMustangsPro.com, and you can order a shirt in any color with your logo from your foundation. And we'll be donating some of those proceeds back to your community. Thank you for following us at ChicagoMustangsPro.com and like us on Facebook.
Yo, Negro Sandoval, les recomiendo AM Loans para todos sus préstamos hipotecarios y bienes y raíces. Vamos, Mustang.
¿Qué tal? Les habla su amigo Willow Martínez, número 10 de los Chicago Mustang, recomendándoles a Toncar Autopartes, donde encontrarás lo que buscas para tu auto. Vamos, Mustang.
Hola, mi nombre es Fernanda, tu chica Mustang, y te invito mañana después del partido a las 6 de la tarde aquí, Ginos East. No te olvides, para más información ingresa a subarrio.com y recuerda que su barrio se escribe con Z.